Well, hello there. As we prepare to step into 2025, let's take a hot minute to bust a myth about the new year that's been holding you back from true transformation. This calendar year that's about to turn into 2025, at the time of this recording, January 1st, it's not the actual new year. You see, that's the Gregorian calendar, if you want the fancy schmancy term. And it does mark January 1st, but that's a human construct of time. And I do love numbers and calendars and all of that. But the real beauty comes in our innate wisdom, which links to nature. And that means that the real new year actually aligns with the cycles of the moon and will be celebrated on January 29th, 2025, which is the Lunar New Year. Now, as we're making our way to that, it's okay to want to embrace the whole idea of how do I get to alignment? How do I embrace holistic lifelong wellness? What are things that I can do now? Connection and flow are what we're always working towards as we embrace holistic lifelong wellness. And that's why I've created the Women's Wellness Collective for you. So make sure that you click on the link if you haven't joined this free off social media community that also has a classroom full of tons of free resources to support you on your journey. But for today, with this foundation of the truth that it's not actually the new year, let's actually dive into the topic, which is ditching resolutions for something that really works as we do step into 2025 and we do prepare for the real new year, which is on January 29th, the Lunar New Year in a few weeks. So, the new year is actually a trap when you look at resolutions because they fail. Now, beyond my teaching just now on the real new year and that being the time to enact change so that you can align your lifelong wellness goals, let's face a real fact of our society. Did you know that 80% of resolutions fail by mid February? 80%. Did you also know that of those 20% that do make it, only 8% of people are reported to actually achieve the goals that they set for the new year? Mind blowing. So let's ditch that and try something new, something that's aligned. Resolutions are built on unrealistic expectations, rigid timelines, and a focus on external outcomes rather than that internal alignment. They also tend to focus on willpower alone. And willpower, my friend, is always going to run out eventually, especially when life gets busy or challenging. And let's be real, when is life not busy or challenging? But remember, that's why holistic lifelong wellness is for you because it's designed for all seasons of life, especially the busy and challenging times. So now that we've established resolutions aren't working, they're out, let's bring in what does work, and that is intentions. Now, unlike resolutions that are rooted in this lack and a fix it mentality of scarcity and all of that type of blah, intentions, they raise the vibration because they focus on self alignment and authenticity. Intentions shift your focus from external outcomes to internal growth and guidance. Resolutions often frame goals as a checklist of fixes, where in contrast, intentions embrace self compassion and adapt to life's natural ebbs and flows. So, for example, a resolution to go to the gym 5 days a week. If you miss a day, you're going to probably embrace the all or nothing mindset. You're going to feel like a failure and you're going to ditch that resolution. But when you set an intention of, I'm going to honor my body with movement, that's going to offer you flexibility and flow. So, whether it is going to the gym, a walk, dancing in your living room, getting a really good vacuum session in, we all love carpet lines, don't we? That is a way to a kinder, empowering approach that fosters lasting change. Now, that may be enough to get you to embrace your intentions versus the old resolutions. But as your teacher, I would be remiss, because I love big words, to not go further into the science and the world of woo and also some how to's of doing this whole intention thing. So, this is where my specialty of merging science with the world of woo as your holistic lifelong wellness teacher, it's going to really come into play. So let's first start with the science of setting intentions. As we dip our toes into data that drives this teaching on setting intentions to replace resolutions, know that I've written a blog post for you that has some hyperlinks to these things, and I'll drop them also in the show notes. But psychological research supports the power of intentions. In fact, this research is grounded in mindfulness, which is one of the three inner fitness practices that I teach you. And mindfulness studies have shown that it enhances self awareness, it reduces stress, and it improves, therefore, long term goal achievement. Now, as I mentioned, I have a link for you. So, for funsies, if you're a nerd like me, you can click the link. It's to PubMed, which is a whole database of peer reviewed, science validated articles that the National Institute of Health puts out. And you can learn more about the power of intentions as it's embedded in the article that's related to attitudinal strength. But let's also move into, beyond the psychological aspect, a neuroscience perspective. Intentions, from a neuroscience perspective, invite and activate different components of your mind that actually embrace a growth mindset, and it creates pathways of permission to grow and create permanent synapses within your mind that embrace this shift in your consciousness so you can embody the change that you're seeking. And the actual bringing forth of that into your life is through small, sustainable shifts rather than this drastic change that can feel overwhelming. And another aspect, if you need more around intentions that's unlike resolutions, is that it taps into your intrinsic motivation, the why behind the change, which then provides you with the guiding light. So, in summary of science, here's why intention setting works: the mindfulness connection, the neuroplasticity related to neuroscience of your brain, of how it actually can create those lasting synaptic connection. Because yes, we are lifelong learners. We learn nonstop throughout our lives, and it actually creates a richer, more beautiful experience of life. And then also the self determination theory that I just mentioned around establishing your why and working towards that. So, by focusing on your intentions, you're not just chasing this result with a scarcity deficit mindset, you're rewiring your brain to align with your deepest desires. So, now let's shift from the science into the real spirit of all the work, the woo, as I like to call it. Why does the woo make intention setting work for you? So, I mentioned this before, but intentions actually bring forth a higher vibration of energy. And that energy vibration, like attracts like. So, if you are in a higher vibration of energy, now remember that is never toxic positivity, because we have room for all of the experiences of the human condition. But when we are bringing forth an intention, it raises our vibration, and it's like planting a seed that, it's not about perfection. You are a human after all. Remember, all of the experiences are valid, but it's about nurturing what matters most to you and then letting it grow over time and bringing in that energy that continues to attract the higher vibration to you. It's also about ditching this idea that you need a new you in the new year. You are enough. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it, and I don't care how many times, because you are worthy of hearing it over and over and over and over. You are enough. You don't need a new you. You are perfect and divinely created just as you are. But when you feel like things need a shift so that you can experience more energy and flow, more alignment with your highest self, like I always talk about, then that just means that you're accessing your intuition, your innate inner wisdom, and what God, universe, spirit, Gus, I sometimes like to call it, what it designed you, what God designed you to do, which is evolve. Now, this is not the Charles Darwin kind of passive, it takes millennia kind of evolution. This is a new evolution. This is the consciousness evolution that you are part of, even by watching this video, because you've had this knowing that you are designed to co create your life with God, universe, spirit. And so, though you are worthy and you are perfect just the way that you are, there are tweaks that you can create that help to get you even more in alignment with your truest, highest self. So, from neuroscience to now, the spiritual woo of it all, we've said resolutions are out. Intentions are in. Now, as your holistic lifelong wellness teacher who supports you in creating personalized wellness plans that work for you, let's get into the actual how, remembering that you take what you need and you leave the rest behind. So, a simple and powerful way to embrace intention setting is by choosing a word of the year. One word to serve as your guiding light, as your North Star. Shout out to Minnesota, my home state, the North Star state. This helps you to stay both grounded and uplifted in the energy of inspiration throughout the year. Now, the real power of this practice of setting an intention, it comes through creating a ritual to define and align this intention. So, I'm always here to support you, and with this practice, I've recorded a meditation for you. It is called Setting Your Word for the Year. It's under 6 minutes. It's my gift to you to align and ignite your holistic lifelong wellness this year and beyond. And you will find it in the classroom tab in the Women's Wellness Collective, which is your free off social media place for ditching diet and wellness overwhelm for holistic lifelong wellness. So you're not only going to find this free meditation, setting your word for the year, it's under the start here in the classroom tab, by the way, but you're going to find a lot of other free resources in there in addition to weekday daily posts Monday through Friday to support the community in engaging in all of these practices. So now this meditation can be part of your ritual to set your intention for the year, but to support you even further, because I'm here for you, I got you. Have some examples of how to set your intention for the year. You can either look at the blog for the list. You can write this down right now, and or I'll have it linked to the blog in the show notes below. So here are the steps for choosing and grounding your intention for the new year. Step one is that you need to set the scene. So I want you to find a quiet, comfortable space where you're not going to be interrupted. Or let's be real, put some noise canceling devices on and tune everything else out. Then you can light a candle, diffuse your favorite essential oil, maybe even just rub it in your hands and give it a good whiff, or play calming music, a combination, maybe all of those things, so that you're setting your sacred atmosphere. Then bring your journal or a notebook and your favorite pen so that you have some space to be able to actually record what the work that you're going to do. And then the step two is to go inward. And to do that, I created the Setting Your Word for the Year meditation that will help you to not only go inward and ground, but then to bring forth that word. And then the other parts within step two are that you want to journal. You want to write not only that word, but maybe it's a different meditation you choose, and you just want to journal on these prompts. What do I want to feel more of this year? What areas of my life feel out of alignment? Because sometimes the converse can make us find the aligned piece that we want to create. And the third one is, what would a truly fulfilling year look like? Once you're journaling, free writing on those, letting your consciousness flow out, your words and themes are going to naturally arise. And you might notice a particular word or phrase that resonates deeply, perhaps even from that meditation that I'm gifting you. Trust it. Do not overthink it. Step three is write it down. So once you've chosen this word or phrase, write it. Write it somewhere meaningful in the journal, but then bring it forth, maybe on a post-it that you see every day on your mirror, on the background of your phone, wherever it might be, so that you have it as your guiding light. Because step four is to review it as a grounding ritual. Now, within this first initial time, I want you to set that intention, bring it in, perhaps like imagine it coming into your heart, into your mind's eye, whatever it might be, but then repeat it daily, whether it is in the morning, in the evening, both throughout the day. It is your guiding light. It is your intention, your word that is going to bring forth true transformation. So you know that as your holistic lifelong wellness teacher, I'm always going to emphasize to you, you are your best expert. Take what resonates, leave the rest. This is your beautiful life. I'm just here to cheer you on and give you some tools, empower you to take some action in your life so that you design the practices that make the most sense to you in whatever season that you're in so you can get your fullest aligned self regardless of the season of life. Now, my question to you is, what word or intention will guide you in 2025? I want you to comment below, or better yet, comment below and Share your word of the year in the Women's Wellness Collective, and let's inspire each other to embrace alignment, growth, and lasting change. I can't wait to see you in there, my friend. Until next time, namaste.